those are the cat's eyes in the middle of the road. My God. This is, I think raw is the right word for it. Be good to get out of it. It's just not intended for this kind of driving. This car is set up to do one thing, and that is to go very, very fast on the racetrack. And it does go very fast on the racetrack, and contrary to popular belief, it handles really, really well. This is a bumpy car. Oh, God. I think I'm going to throw up. Good afternoon, this is Steve from Rekord with a quick video. I've been very busy this week. We're organising a charity track day which is taking place at the weekend, and so I've been a little busy, so I haven't had time to do any videos this week, but I am sitting in a Camaro, you say Camaro, I say Camaro, a Camaro ZL1 1LE, and what a beast it is. This is a track car, and it is the most uncomfortable car I have ever driven on the road, and trust me, I have driven some very, very uncomfortable cars. This suspension is so hard. I'm not sure if this is the stock 1LE setup, because the 1LE is the track package for the ZL1, but it is bone-jarringly hard, and we have full race seats and harnesses in this, so you're strapped in, you can't move, the straps are actually rubbing on my neck. Can't move the seat because this isn't my car, it's set up for somebody else, and so I'm kind of stretched out, I'm not very comfortable. Apart from that, it's wonderful. So we have borrowed this car from my friend Lucas Barnett, and it is the Burger King car. It's plastered with Burger King logos all over it, and we are going to be using it this weekend to do some joyriding at the track. So Lucas has very kindly allowed us to borrow his car to use as a pace car this weekend at the track for the charity track event that we're doing for the benefit of Child Help. So we had to pick up the car. I'm just driving it back home. This is a 6.2 litre V8 borrowed from the Corvette, so you know it's got plenty of power. It is 650 horsepower and coincidentally 650 torques too, and God, you feel all of the power in this. 6-speed manual, which is quite refreshing. It's a 6-speed manual, but interestingly enough, there are actually paddles on the back of the steering wheel, which is kind of strange because your hands fall directly on the paddles, and then you're expected to change gear with them and nothing happens. Those paddles are actually used to toggle on and off the rev matching on downshifting, and I feel it's probably a cost-saving effort that they have the same wheel basically in all cars. It's just that they're allocating some other function other than gear changing to the paddles. So even though it's a beast of an engine, the gear changes are really good. The clutch is very light, gear changes, it's a very short throw, very accurate, really, really nice to drive. I must say, I'm very, very surprised by this car. It's the first time I've been in a Camaro, and I've tended to shy away from US cars. You know, in the past they didn't have a very good reputation for either quality or handling, but they have come on in leaps and bounds, and it's a great car to sit inside, despite the fact that this one has been stripped out. I don't know if you can see behind me, there's actually a half cage in here. The one thing I will say about this car is the view out of it is atrocious. Part of that is because we've got these race seats in, which are lower than the standard seats, so you're sitting a bit lower, but it's already a very restricted view out, so it's got a very high belt line, so and it's very difficult for me, being a short arse, to see over the bonnet, and the view out at the back is virtually non-existent. You do have to rely on your side mirrors a lot. It's a little slit to look out at the back, and there's a bloody great big wing in the way, so I'm not going to look in that mirror anymore. I'm going to use that one and that one over there. But the view out, apart from the view out, it's a really nice place to be. It makes a great noise as well, and I'm looking forward to driving this on track, because with this setup that this car has, with this incredibly hard suspension, it's not fun to drive on the street at all. It's actually not too loud, but you feel every single bump, and obviously because this is a race seat, there's no adjustment to the seat, so you're stuck in this position. It feels very dark in here. It feels like you're peering out to the bright world outside. Very nice gauge cluster, and there's lots of buttons and things to press. So that's it for the moment. I'm going to give you an update. We're taking it to the track tomorrow to do some filming, so I'll do an update from there, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the wonderful car that we have this week. And yep, seriously, I am very pleasantly surprised about how nice a car this is. Well done. You actually don't need most of the gears on this car. I mean, you could probably pull away in third easily. Second and third you definitely don't need. You can go straight from first to fourth. It actually tells you on the screen to skip gears to save gas. So it's got so much torque. You can put it in any gear you want, really, and it'll be fine. As I mentioned, it's got fairly aggressive rev matching. I don't really think you need to have the switches on the steering wheel for that. A simple button on the dash would do, because really either you want it on or off. You're not going to be switching it on and off. I mean, I drive manual cars and I'm used to rev matching and heel and towing, so it's a little off-putting. I go to heel and tow it and then it's revving it as well. But that's easy to get used to. Very nice car. Great stereo. Really, really good stereo in this car. I don't know why Lucas has the stereo, because he's not going to be listening to it when he's on track. And one of the good things about the very low seating position is once you're on the track, you've got lots of headroom for your helmet. Yeah, it's very black. Everything is black in here. It's leather and Alcantara, and there's a little bit of carbon fiber. All black. Blackety black. And Julie did not like the car. She didn't like the effort to get in and out of the passenger seat, even though I did explain to her that this was actually a blue car. You just can't see any of the blue because it's got a full Burger King wrap on it, which I will show you in a bit. You have to be extremely careful about driving this car on the street. If you accidentally put your foot down a little too far, the wheels just light up and this thing takes off. And accidentally this morning, the mode button for whether you want it in sport or track or race or whatever is just by the gear shift. So when you actually shift, say, into fourth, if you bring the heel of your hand down, you actually change the mode. And I gave myself a little bit of a shock this morning when I was going out. I changed into I think I actually changed down into second and accidentally put it into track at the same time. And I wasn't entirely sure what it did, but it gave me the willies. I think I would assume the settings adjust the throttle response. They probably adjust the suspension settings. I don't know, particularly not on this car, because I'm not sure if it's the standard suspension, and I'm assuming it changes the amount of driver system intervention. I guess I should probably do some reading about this car and tell you all about it, but I think we're just going to drive it. You can probably see how much my head is bobbling around. I think the road's rather bumpy leading up to my house, and I think that I would get a very sore neck driving this car for any length of time. But actually I just switched the camera back on so you can hear what this car sounds like when you put your foot down. Not that I would do such an antisocial thing. Maybe it just seems a little noisy compared to the electric car. This car's going to give me a headache. This car's already given me a headache. And I believe Lucas drove this from Austin to Scottsdale, Phoenix, which is not a short drive. He must be an Iron Man to do that, because I think I'm going to be feeling fed up after driving it for an hour to get it down to the racetrack tomorrow. So anyway, this is what this car sounds like when you rev it up. And it weaves around under acceleration. Oh, and the gas gauge went down. I had to fill it up with gas this morning. This is going to be quite a handful on the track, I imagine. Looking forward to doing a couple of laps in it. So anyway, we will see. We hope you like this video, even though it was a short one. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to get our latest videos. See